Hello everybody, before we start this video I'd like to give a shout out to 3 people this time to all this week we're doing bass fun music, Roki Kun, and Softbytes Unlimited. And remember here at Seanster to provide as well as overall for the Mass Legion and everyone on the Seanster Patrol made by Family Manny Posse who wish you good luck in your oncoming future. Now, without further ado, let's begin your feature presentation. Hope you all enjoy the video and have a good day. Hello everybody, my name is Seanster5 and welcome everybody back to another episode of Seanster Plays Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. Last time, we went into the forest lands where we discovered the invincible bee troopers, and the amount of power that this deck has is surprisingly unbelievable, and I hope that Weevil Underwood doesn't have invincible bee troopers when a Yu-Gi-Oh! Remake comes out, because it would be pretty overpowered. But yeah, again, Joey and Yugi, they got themselves main character powers, so... But that's a story for another time. And then we went on to C, where we met the Merry Blunder Patrol, which, of course, it was a bit of a tight one, but still very well good. And then we went down to the wonderful city under the sea with the tribe of the Abyssal Warriors, where we tackled the mermaids. And today we're going to be looking into the story of the Dream Dominion, where we'll be discussing about Dream Mirror, the Dark Dead Vengeance, where we'll be discussing Vendreads, the Delightful Dwellers of Darkness, and also this week, because of which I will tell you as soon as I put this one down, but then after that, we're going to also be looking into today the Legend of the Starry Dragon. And the reason why we're doing 4 instead of 3, like I said last week, is because I did some calculations and I believe that this right here is the second to last episode of the series. And although it surprised me too, you know, and although it's sad to see another series go so soon, and I would have loved to play more Master Duel, it's just, well, there's a lot of games out there, you know, and it is still the PS5 era for the channel, and if I didn't give other games a chance, like, say, the upcoming game that's coming soon, 2 upcoming games, along with the Genshin one-off specials, then, of course, we would just be stuck with one game, and, well, we love ourselves a little bit of variety, and... of course, next week, of course, will be 4 duels before we wrap up. So there's plenty of stories to get through until the legend given to us by the Seanster 2.5 Kazuki Takahashi Memorial School of Dueling has yet to give us before the series end. But before we start this video, I'd just like to remind everybody that coming this Tuesday or Wednesday at the latest, it is also going to be the second to last episode of Seanster Plays Before We Write Ozma's Wisdom, in which there will only be at least 1 more episode in July, alongside 1 more Seanster vs. What If in July, and then we can get into full swing in August to October with Naruto the Seanster Court. The writing is still going well, and I may have thought too ahead into the future of that Seanster Court because of the Boruto chapters and the latest dub episodes, and including Storm Connection, so I'm all just like all right ahead. But along with that, hopefully in December we could see ourselves a second Seanster Court that's going to be at least in, I don't know, it's going to be released on Christmas, or maybe sometime before the channel's hiatus for New Year's and Christmas. But I think there might even be a Seanster cut of a certain Marvel MCU film. Which MCU film? Well, I hope that everyone will stay tuned to find out, as right that is going alongside the production of the Seanster cut of Naruto. But I will be sure to finish that off and start on the Boruto chapters before moving on to that one. But yeah, all the same, I'll keep you updated, so yeah, don't worry, we'll all keep up in the loop. And although this is the second to last episode, I'd just like to thank everybody so much for joining me on another wonderful journey like this series and the series to come. Without all of your support, I would not be here today, and without you, my friends, my families and amigos, yeah, I certainly wouldn't be in the position I am today without all of you. You all are the best, you all are great, and we've got so much to take from our plates. So, Without any further ado, let's get right into our today's dish, this week's episode. So, if you enjoyed this video and the series to come, the series that's about to conclude next week, either way, but don't worry, there's plenty of surprises to come for the PS5 era, then be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned for more content coming soon. And for everyone here at Source 2.5, as well as everyone from the Mass Legion, and everyone in the Short Patrol, Maypie Family, Manny Posse, I hope you all enjoyed today's episode. Now let's get right into this week's episode with the Dream Dominion to start off basically our quad of duels. Is that saying quad of duels? Quadruple of duel? Nah, I'll think about something later. Let's get right into the duels, Alonzi. Our story takes place in the far reaches of a town somewhere. In a back alley hidden from the main street, where the hustle and bustle could barely be heard, a strange visitor wandered about in the trace-like state. Then a voice spoke from nowhere, calling out to them, beckoning. Say, this is a rather strange dream you've landed in, isn't it? And when the stranger turned, there stood a fortune teller behind him. The fortune teller curled a finger, calling for the stranger to come closer. Those who visit this town are all lost in a dream. I have seen many souls with the same look in their eyes as you. Now let me ask you, what do you see in your dreams? The stranger felt as though there was nothing they could hide. Taken by the fortune teller's mysterious presence, recounts of their dreams began to spill forth from the stranger's lips. Once the stranger had finished, the fortune teller broke their silence. They say there are two kinds of dreams, good omens that bring the dreamer happiness and good fortune, and bad omens that attract nothing but disaster and misfortune. Some only say that dreams recently are all dominated, being controlled by a lone figure somewhere. Perhaps the dreams you've seen have also been given by you by this individual, the fortune teller said, not a hint of dishonesty in their voice. The stranger swallowed, hanging to every word. The fortune teller continued as tension hung like thick fog. The one who dominated these dreams changes its forms depending on what the dream it was given to the dreamer. In good dreams, it will look like an angel, but in bad dreams, it will look like a demon. The disciples of the dream ruler will appear in the real world and leave a mysterious mirror by the dream's bedside, drawing them to the dreamer. No one could say that mirror is a mystical gateway to the land of dreams. The sun and moon etched into the mirror can change the world of dream depending on who has risen and which one has set. If the sun is above, the dreamer is blessed with a good omen, but if the moon is on the top, the dreamer is thrusted into a nightmare. Which was it for you, I wonder? Well, there's only one way to find out, and I guess it's with this duel. Here we go, dream mirrors. Okay, now, thanks to this little memo that Manny gave me, the Dream Mirror archetype revolves with a lot of spell card usage too, so hopefully it should all be merry and bright. Okay. Oh, it starts with a monster in the field spell. Oh, okay. And yeah, that field spell and has field spells that could like, switch with each other. Very nice. Okay, well, let's just do our best and see how it goes. Set this card face down and then activate the continuous spell Dream Mirror Phantasms. And now I can add one Dream Mirror monster from my deck to my hand. And I'm going to go with the monster that he brought out, and that is Phantazos, the Dream Mirror Fiend, I believe. Oh, is it a Fiend or is it the foe? It's foe. And oh my gosh, it increased that much. Right, during the battle phase, contribute this card, special one card. Okay, well in that case, I'll just attack. Okay, I'm just going to attack anyway, yeah. And then I will activate my Phantazos' effect and special summon in defense mode, activate Phantazos' effect, bring back my Dream Mirror monster, then activate its effect even though it's not going to do anything, and I'll end my turn there. Oh, what can I do here? I can Z-summon a Utopia. That could be good, but now I'll hang fire for a moment, see where this goes. I end my turn. Okay. Seems like he's powering down his own monsters. Oh. Okay, he's attacking my monster. Oh, well, that wasn't very kind at all. I activate my... Okay, I forgot to read its name. It's down the graveyard, but here comes my Dream Mirror foe. Ooh, okay, it dealt me 300 points of damage. Clever, very clever. I draw. Okay, well, let's see how this works. I now summon Neroy, the Dream Mirror traitor. Then activate Neroy's effect, and adding the Dream Disciple, and then change the attribute. Oh, okay. And then activate my Neroy's effect, summoning her to the field, and then I can change the attribute of that monster. Oh, another 300 points. Ow! Oh, let's see. Return to the deck. I'm gonna choose my Phantazos back to the hand, and then. Okay, I guess I could link summon, but yeah, again, is that really the wisest of moves? Yeah, I might as well wait. If it's for those two, I don't think it's worth it. So, I'll move in and attack his face-down monster. Oh, okay. Well, that's just... Okay, can I still destroy it? Can I still destroy it? Yeah, I can still destroy it. And I'll end my turn there. And then I'm going to defend myself by link summoning my Link to Wee Witch's Apprentice. Okay, well, that boosted his monster right. Oh, well. At the end of the day, I mean, it's a good duel, and well, you know, but the CPU is definitely playing tremendously well, I will say that much. Okay, it's 1,000 points of damage, but then I activate my Wee Witch's Apprentice effect to bring back my Phantazos from my graveyard back to my hand. It's another 1,400 points of damage, but ayo. Send it to the graveyard and bringing on that field spell again. Oh. Okay, he just got rid of... Oh wait, I think that's probably because... Yeah, it's always good to man up the munitions, I'll give him that. And then, let's see, what can I do here? I will summon Phantazos, the Mirror Dream Foe. Okay, well, I pretty much didn't know what I was doing here, but, well... Okay, well... If this is a GG, then so be it. I really need to start reading my cards. I really do. Oh, it's another Dreamer into the graveyard. Yeah. So the lesson to take from this is that the field. Oh, speaking of which, I've got a field spell of my own, so I activate my field spell, the Dream Mirror of Terror, and then I will activate my Dream Friends effect, special summoning my Phantazos from the graveyard, and then my monster can attack directly this turn, which I will certainly do. Well, at least I could get in some direct damage in there, why not? And then I activate Phantazos effect, send it to my graveyard, and summon back my friend in defense mode. And then I can target one level 8 or lower Dream Mirror from my hand and bring it back to my hand. So welcome, or summon it to the field. Welcome back, Phantazos. And then, just because let's see, I will now overlay both my Phantazos, my two Phantazos, in order to build the overlay network, and Xyz summon number 39, Utopia, with its own unique summoning animation too. And okay, it's just sending monsters to his graveyard right now. Okay, well, he's got 25 cards in his deck, and I've got 25 cards in my deck, so I need to play my cards right. Okay. Oh, Morpheus. Okay, well, someone better not tell that Morpheus that I know. Okay. Well, there goes my Utopia. A good game! A very good game! Well, I mean, there's nothing really I could do there. I mean, the CPU is playing really smart, but yet again, since we got a good amount of wins last episode, it's only fair if I get a loss in there, you know? Just to keep things interesting, okay? Okay, the duel's all yours. And that is a GG and a lesson learned. Well, although we lost the duel, we can still see how the story ends, right? So, let's see how the Dream Mirror's tale comes to an end. The fortune teller mused. The dream world of the sun was one filled with the light and resplendence. It was a beautiful land of free and spirited souls, of holy beasts, gallant knights, and frolicking maidens. But, on the other hand, the dream world of the moon was drowned in a deep, inky darkness. It was a dreadland where souls were trapped by despair, home to demonic beasts and knights of doom, and reapers of death who showed no mercy. The dream ruler masterfully controlled these worlds, bringing them countless people, and in turn, the dreams these people have become their power. Through the dreams that the dream ruler gives people, it is able to gain control of their hearts. But those who become unable to tell dream from reality are said to never wake up again. What will become of me then? The stranger asked, quivering with the fright, hoping the fortune teller would at least have an answer. There is nothing to fear, my friend. Indeed, the tale of two dream worlds has been passed down through many generations, and many people in our time still visit them. Among the accounts from numerous dreamers, the most fascinating is that a certain group of children, they did not become trapped in their dreams. However, upon waking up, they regaled their adventures with great joy to anyone who would listen. I'm sure that for you, the dreams are a good source of power for you too. Be not afraid and have faith in yourself. That could be your greatest strength against the dream ruler. The stranger sighed, shoulders sagging with relief. Now that he felt safer, they left the fortune teller and the alleyway. Well, what do you think of that, dear reader? Perhaps your dream tonight will be one from the dream ruler too. Well, certainly was quite the story, I will say. But speaking of stories, I believe we got one of an apocalyptic future next. Ah yes, the Revenge Reds. Within the concrete jungle of high-raised buildings, the people hustled and bustled among the sleepless city nights. I can't even talk today. However, that was a long time ago. A darkness that shrouded the sky above turned the world into one that would never see morning come again. And with the darkness came monsters that threatened the peace of the city, the Vendreads. The Vendreads started as corpses that crawled out from their graves, except their bodies had transformed into something grotesque. Without a single shred of their memories from their past life, or any will of their own, they would wander the streets at night and attack any living human or animal in their path, guided only by their instinct. No firearm, tank, or any sort of modern weaponry could be used to defeat these creatures. What's worse, anyone or anything that was unfortunate enough to become a victim of a Vendread would become one themselves. The Vendread threat was like a match thrown into a forest, spreading fear like an uncontrollable blaze. As the undead continued to rapidly multiply, those remaining of flesh and blood scrambled fruitlessly for a solution. The Vendread horde soon made their way to the hassling built wall that served as the sole line of defense for the living. Among them was a young man who had lost his life to the undead. He was no different from the other Vendreads, wandering the same shrouded city with the same mindlessness. But as luck would have it, one day the young man continued to drift about mindlessly. He came across a young woman who was carried off by the Vendreads. His mind had already long faded, or it shouldn't have, but his eye caught the locket that hung from the woman's neck. Something stirred within him. The memories of his past life began to flood back into the head in a great crashing wave. He knew the woman from the pen before him. She had once been the love of his life. His mind twisted and turned with a desperate sadness as he realised that his love was no longer in this world. That sadness soon boiled over into seething rage and hatred for the Vendreads that robbed her of her life. As his mind dragged itself out of the bogs of the undead depths, A flame of hatred ignited his heart. The violent burst of emotion tore his body apart with an unbearable pain as it began to transform and rebuild itself into something much stronger. When the transformation ended, the man steadied his uneven breath and stood up. He took up the locket and hung it around his neck. Soon he could keep the memory of his beloved close by. Then he spoke into the silent night. I swear, I will vanquish every last one of these walking corpses if it's the last thing I do! And thus the new age of vengeance was born. He was the Revenge Red who would hunt the other Revenge Reds. Revenge Red Slayer. This was the beginning of the Lone Revenge's fierce battle. Well, let's see how fierce of a battle it is. Onward to the next scenario. Even in that day, the living struggled bravely within the city wall to keep alive. The Vendread horde that pursued the living pushed through against the barrier like crashing waves and showed no sign of ever stopping. Their numbers seemed only to be going up too. They continued to groan and wail deep in the night, day after day. The terror was too much. The citizens were finding it harder and harder to keep sane under the horrific circumstances. But then, a single lone shadow loomed from over the horde. The shadow darted forward and cut the Vendread with a single swoop, quick as light. But he didn't stop there. Any Vendread who would dare stand in his way would be stabbed, hit, kicked, and knocked down. They would have had their limbs and rotting flesh torn, twisted, and ripped from their bodies. And once the shadow had finished hunting down every last walking corpse that plagued the city wall, he disappeared back into the darkness as quickly as he appeared, not even sparing a single moment to look back at the crowd that he had saved. But the Revenge Red Slayer was not interested in being a hero. All he wanted was revenge, and he would not stop at anything to destroy any Vendread that entered his line of sight. But regardless of his intentions, the fact that he had swooped onto the scene like a ball out of the blue defeated all the Vendreads. To the survivors, he was their single ray of hope. Word of a mysterious undead hunter began to spread quickly through the city. As the nights continued, he too continued his battles. However, the Vendreads were not going to stand for being hunted down so mercilessly. With the carnage, the undead began to change. Until now, the humans and animals that have turned into Vendreads have stayed about the same physical size as they had when they had passed. That was one of the main reasons the survivors have been able to keep the horde back with just their average human strength. However, now the Revengers were being pursued by a relentless executor in the form of Revenge Red Slayer, they began to feel unthreatened. Some of them even began to merge with each other to create a bigger Vendread. Few words could describe how grotesque it looked, and the people began to name it after a certain multi-headed beast of legend. They called it Vendread Chimera. The creature would threaten the safety of the people beyond the wall for many more nights. It possessed the powers and strengths of numerous Vendreads, and even the Slayer was beginning to have trouble fighting it. Every time they battled, the Slayer would only just manage to fight it off. He was never successful in completely silencing it. However, the more they fought, the more the weaknesses uncovered. The Slayer found that within the Chimera, they lay a core that covered in all its actions. The Slayer charged at the core and threw all of his strength into it, destroying it, and finally the Chimera crumbled into a pile of rotting flesh and bones. At first it seemed that the Slayer's do-or-die attack had ended things once and for all, with the agglomeration of animosity that was the Chimera, but the tragedy only further unfolded from here. The clash of the undead would only escalate further and further into something beyond human comprehension. All the survivors that all could do was pray one day that the Revenge Red could be vanquished, and dawn would break once more over the city. Well, now that we've seen him in action in the story, I wonder how powerful he is in a duel. Allons-y! Okie dokie. So, what's there to say about the Vendreads? Well, they are zombie-type monsters, which of course do have their, well, mainly ritual support, but you can mix that with anyone else, and he's got Manju of the 10,000 hands already. Okay, well, can't have that now, can I? Revenge Red, Hound Horde, okay. Well, let's set this card base down, and then let's start off the duel by summoning the monster Revenge Red Revenants. And now my Revenants will attack his Manju, and classic card. I've played right into his hands, but I can still activate my Revenge and Remnants effect and summon it back to the field, but it will be banished if it is destroyed again. But that's still enough to destroy his Manju with the 10,000 hands before ending my turn. Okay, oh, seems like he's ritual summoning already, okay. And he's summoning the Chimera. Woo! Okay, well, that card's getting banished, that's fine. Okay. I wonder what we can do. I draw. And then I summon the monster Kazuki. And then activate Kazuki's effect and send one zombie monster from my deck to my graveyard. What to choose? I send my Hound Horde to the graveyard. Then I will activate my spell card, Different Dimension Reincarnation. By discarding one copy of my Hound Horde, I can bring back my Revenants from my from the banished pile back to the field. And then I activate the effect of my Hound Horde to my graveyard. But, let's see, I discard my Revenants and summon it back in defense mode. And then, let's see, I don't have any monsters that, let's see, well, guess I could do this, and in doing so I can link summon, link to Vampire Sucker, and I don't have any. Let's see, type one monster in your opponent's graveyard, special summon it in face down defense, but don't mind if I do, and I'll bring back my Manju. Okay, and then I guess I'll attack his Manju, and I will end my turn. Let's see, surely nah, I'll end my turn there. If I only had a ritual card, then I could bring in my own ritual monster and it'd be so cool. And okay. Well, thanks to my Revenant's effect, it gets brought back to the field, but it has to be banished when it... Okay, it just kind of destroyed itself, but oh, some of its own Revenants. Clever. Classic move. Alright. Now, what will it be? Let's see what this card will be. Foolish Burial. Okay, well... I activate my Hound Horde's effect. I have to discard my monster to bring this to the field. And then I will activate my Foolish Burial and send my Mezuki to the graveyard. And, oh hello! Effect in the graveyard. I activate Mezuki's effect in the graveyard, which I can banish to bring back my Kazuki. Then Kazuki's effect activates, meaning I can send this to the graveyard, and okay, I don't know if I just messed myself up, but one way to find out. Oh, okay. Okay, well, you're kind of leaving yourself open for damage, so I'll do that. Again, not expecting to win every one of these duels, but you know, the CPU is playing ridiculously well. Takes out my Hound Horde. It's not even attacking like my Kazuki at all. Okay, fair enough then. Shinobi Necro. Okay. Alright, activate Kazuki's effect, and I'll send my Mezuki to the graveyard. Activate Mezuki's effect again. And summon Vampire Sucker back. Why not? Activate Vampire Sucker's effect. Bring Manju back from the graveyard to the field. And then draw a card. Yes! Just the card I need. I play Pre-Preparation of the Rites. Allow me to add Revenge Red Origin to my hand, along with my Revenge Red Slayer from my deck. Like so. And then I'll activate my Revenge Red Origin. And thanks to its effect, I can now, let's see, I can even special summon the Revenge Red Slayer from my graveyard, so I can banish from my graveyard my Revenge Red Revenants and my Striges in order to ritual summon my level 6 Revenge Red Slayer. There we go, now we're cooking with gas. And now I activate my trap card, Revenge Red Reunion. I can reveal one Revenge Red in my hand, and then I can send these two. Is this another rip? Okay, no, it's not. It's not another ritual summon, it's just summoning the two from the graveyard that I banished with Revenge Red Origin. That's fair enough. Oh, it is another ritual summon, okay! Excellent, and now I activate my Revenge Reds. Ooh, let's see. And target one special summon my monster by opponent withdraws, banish it. So long, Chimera. And now I will also summon my Unizombie. And then let's have a little look see. Nah, this is good. Alright, now my Revenge Red Slayers will attack his remnants, and now thanks to my Revenge Red's ability, by banishing one zombie monster from a graveyard, it now gains 300 attack points. But thanks to its effect, he can summon it back. All the more for my second Slayer, and its effect, I once again banish another Revenge Red, gains 300 attack points. And then, thanks to it, I can now activate my Striges effect to draw a card and then discard a card. So long, Shinobi Necro. And then I will attack with my Vampire Sucker, and then my Unizombie, and Kazuki. Okay. Well, was not expecting this combat, but it's definitely better than nothing. Okay. Now, if that card is another Sekiretsu armor, we should be good. And Revenge Red Re-Origin. Not bad. Well, I guess I could just go into battle. Go, Vampire Sucker. And now it is your turn, Revenge Red Slayer. And he just slayed the GG. Good job, good job. Well, can't expect to win every time, but that was pretty close, I will say. Right then, back to the story. After a long and bitter struggle, Revenge Red Slayer would finally destroy the Revenge Red Chimera threat. No one could predict that his defeat would bring up more dreadful threats. One day, the Slayer felt a menacing presence like never before, overflowing with an unabating grudge. He immediately headed towards it, determined to find the source. He saw that the wall had been broken through, even though it had held up well against the Chimera threat. The wall and the scavenged armored vehicles that were taking the brunt of the attacks were destroyed, and countless people were found slain. The Vendred Horde had a different leader now. It seemed much larger than the Chimera had been, and its included heavy armor. Enveloping it was a thick and anonymous era of resentment. This is Vendred Battlelord, and it had been born from the grudges of all the Vendreds that the Slayer had defeated. Their collective hunger for vengeance against, and the Slayer had combined into a threatening force, and whenever the Battlelord went, it will leave a trail of death and destruction behind. It was one lone fighter's wish to eradicate the Vendred against the Horde desired to crush their executor. Their rage came to a head, and thus another clash of death began. The Battlelord's might may have been far more tremendous than the Slayer could ever have imagined. Not only could it absorb the surrounding Vendred, but also those who had lost their lives at the scene. The Battlelords had a steady supply of fodder, and it only grew more powerful as time went on. No matter how strong the Slayer's desire for revenge was, his blade stood no change against his foe. He pushed a triumphant. He could gain the upper hand, but in the end he was overwhelmed by the Battlelord's immense strength. Yeah, things aren't looking good for the Slayer now, are they? Can he make a comeback from this? Vendred Slayer lay limp on the ground, wounded and battered, like he was a ragdoll that had been flung aside. Vendred Battlelord picked up the small hunter in its enormous arms. Then it had done just like it did with the other Vendreds and the fallen victims. It reached in its other hand towards the Slayer's chest and absorbed its powers. The Slayer's consciousness was sinking into nothingness fast, but then the faint glint of his locket caught his eye. That tiny gleam was enough to remind him that his mission was not over yet. And with his conviction renewed, the flame in his heart lit up once more. No wound in his body could stop him now. The Slayer mustered all of his strength he had left. Right before the Battlelord could absorb his powers, he plunged his hand into the Vendread's chest and ripped out its core. Holding the core, the Slayer began to feel a new surge all over his body. His body was absorbing the hateful power the Battlelord had possessed. The tides were turning, with the Battlelord's powers flowing into the Slayer now. Its body started to crumble. However, just as the Slayer began to think the battle was finally over, the core struggled for survival, brushed against the Slayer's pendant with a stray hand. The Battlelord's remains, along with the Vendread surrounding him, began to transform. They all began to take form of the woman that the Slayer cherished from his previous life. With a single touch of the locket, the core had sensed the remaining trace of the Slayer's love and sought to destroy his mortal with it. The Slayer froze. Was this a dream? No, it wasn't a dream. He shook his head, tried to remind himself that his love was already gone. This was a nightmare that was trying to ensnare him. He balled his fists in anger. How dare these scum disgrace the memory of his beloved? His burning rage surged and finally exploded. He found himself transformed into a new form with stronger powers, and he became the Revendread Executor. Such a mighty form. He definitely has come a long way from a Slayer now. Fueled only by his scorching hatred, Revendread Executor swooped through the horde and cut down the false figures of his beloved one after another. He had been fighting his foe for days that could no longer be counted alone, and after absorbing Revendread Battlelord, his grudge only grew bigger with his Revendread powers. It was barely being kept in balance with his human heart. His mind and body had no longer been pushed past their limits. It was already a miracle that he was able to exist with both life and death in one vessel. It doesn't matter anymore if what remained of his humanity faded, or if his body fell apart. Nothing could stop him now. All he had in his mind was to fight, and fight, and fight. He threw everything he had into his single desire, and then, at long last, the Vendread horde moved no more. The battle finally came to a close. The rays of sun broke through the dark veil of the sky, illuminating the Slayer. Just how long has this war been waged for? The city survivors squinted, unaccustomed to the bright light. But oh, what a joyous sight it was. No one ever thought they would see the end of the eternal night. But here the sun was all its glory. The Slayer could feel his body with the light. He bent over to pick up the locket that he had been taken from around his neck. All the Vendreads were defeated and the darkness that engulfed his city was gone. But at the end of the day, he too was a Vendread, and now it was his time to go. Now that the undead threat has passed, with the endless nights, the survivors were able to return to peaceful lives. However, the grief of losing so many lives left an unmendable hole in their hearts. A lot of the survivors have also developed a fear of the night, and would be plagued by nightmares of the horrors they have faced. Unbeknownst to them, a single shadow watched over them from on top of the glowing skyscrapers. Just like he saved the city, the survivors had saved him. Although the Slayer had set out for vengeance, he had still saved countless souls, and they all celebrated him as their hero. They were able to hold on to hope because of this lone fighter, and the Slayer was slipping into the darkness on that fateful day. The survivors' kind hearts had pulled him back. Thus he was able to remain in the mortal world without disappearing like the other Vendreads. If the world ever fell into darkness again, if the monsters threatened the lives of people again, he would surely swing his blade at them once more, but this time without the resentment he once harboured in his heart. If that time ever came, he would fight not for vengeance, but for peace, and to give the people courage and hope when they needed it. A true hero, I will say. Right, I believe we're on halfway through the stories now, so without any further ado, let's get right into the spooky territories with the ghost tricks. Welcome to the mansion where many ghost tricks dwell. This western-style house is located at the edge of town, on top of a small hill. This place used to be inhabited by humans, but they're now long gone. Since when, no one knows, but there was an uncertain rumour about it that was whispered around town. Did you know? They say there are ghouls, or even evil spirits living in that mansion. So, if you accidentally wander in, you'll be attacked and feel the wrath of the spirits. I don't know what a spirit or a ghost is, but I know one thing for sure. There is certainly something that is not human living in this mansion. Seems like we have human visitors tonight. These loudmouth residents are even more exciting than usual.
That was fun! Hey, did you see that? The look at the human's face! They were so surprised! I wonder if they had the rumours and came to visit! But they went home so fast after they come from so far away. I wish they stayed longer.
In the past, humans used to know who they were. Apparently, they mistook us for evil spirits or ghouls. Certainly, they call us ghost tricks. How should I surprise them next time? Oh, good grief! It really is noisy in here. Your voices are echoing in the night. Oh, me? Oh, sorry for the late introduction. I am Alaka. The owner of this abandoned mansion is me. The racket here is from those that have been taking residence here. They all have their own reasons for coming, such as having lost their old homes, according to one resident. What I like about it here is that we get to scare humans. We do all kinds of tricks to surprise humans. I like it to hang out with my chums and wait for it until a human comes by. I'd love it more humans would come and play just like the old days. I would like to be sleeping in my coffin quietly and in peace. I don't like it when things get dull up. Oh, sorry Alaka, but I think things are about to get a little bit more lively as the duel is about to commence with you guys. So, time to see what kind of pranks the Ghost Tricks will have for us today. Okay, so Ghost Tricks. Long story short, they're flip effect monsters, all of which they have their own XZ support. Very meticulous in dueling, but otherwise very cute. And I'll start by activating terraforming, and I will add my Ghost Trick Museum to my hand. Let's see. I will activate Ghost Trick Museum, and then I'll play these two cards face down and set this monster in face down defense position before ending my turn. Ooh, let's see. Okay, yeah, you can attack me directly, that's fine. Okay, I guess I'll activate my trap card Ghost Trick Go Around. Okay. I draw Ghost Trick Lantern, okay. We'll flip summon, and then I'll activate my Jiangxing's effect, and then I'll activate my Ghost Trick Vanish. And then I'll reveal my Ghost Trick Lantern. Meaning now that all face down monsters you control can't be destroyed by or by card effects. And I will then, thanks to Josh's effect, I'll add Ghost Trick Mary to my hand. And then I will activate Jack Sheen's effect, switch in defense mode, and then I will set one monster in face down defense position, and then activate Ghost Trick Mansion. And then I'll end my turn there. Okay, let's see. I activate my Ghost Trick Go Around's effect. Type one monster and then flip it face. So I will. What should I do? I'll use Ghost Trick Mary's effect and switch you into face down defense position, and activate my Ghost Trick Lantern's effect. Summon it in face down defense position. Okay. Okay. This is definitely a good merry-go-round, I will say. Alright, I will flip some of my Jack Sheen back into attack mode, activate its effect to bring Ghost Trick Jack Frost to my hand, and then I'll activate Ghost Mary, and then I'll activate Ghost Trick Mary's effect. Okay, that switches it back down, okay. Then I'll summon my Ghost Trick Stein, and then activate my Jack-Shing and my Lantern's effect. But I wonder if I could do something more than that. Maybe... let's do this. I send my Ghost Trick Mary and the Link arrows to Link Summon Link 1 Ghost Trick Festival. Whoa! It even has its own animation too. Cool. Okay. I will now attack my opponent directly with my Stein. Activate Stein's effect. Now I can activate... let's see what we do. I'll activate Ghost Trick Scared to my hand. There we go. And then I will activate my Ghost Trick Go Around's effect. And then, okay, well, oh, I could even attack directly, okay. Don't know why I just didn't do that before, but you know, that's fair enough. That's all fair enough, and I'll set this card face down, then my turn. Okay. They're going into their battle phase, and then I activate my Ghost Trick Festival's effect. When it declares an attack, I get to special summon another Ghost Trick from my deck to the field. And who to summon? Who should I bring up next? What can... how about Ghost Trick Doll? And then I will activate my Ghost Trick Scared Trap card. I can now target my Doll and my Stein, along with my Jack-Shing and my Lantern. And then I can switch all your monsters into face down defense position. And I get to activate my Doll and my Jack-Shing's effects. And I can then add my Ghost Trick Fairy to my hand. Okay, then activate my Doll's effect and special summon another monster to the field. Let's go with Ghost Trick Neko Musume. Alright, then my Ghost Tricks, let's see what you can do. And a Ghost Trick Trap, not bad. I will now flip summon all my Ghost Tricks. Of course, Doll's effect activates, Jack-Shing's effect activates, bringing in another card to my hand, because why not? Then I'll flip summon Lantern and my Neko Musume. And now it's time for an attack. First my Neko Musume attacks, then my Jiangxing, and then my Doll attacks, followed up behind by my Lantern. And now it's Stein's turn to attack. And thanks to Stein's effects, which is right back into to his mode. But first, I will... let's have a little look. Add Ghost Trick Parade to my hand. And I will end my turn there. Yep, ending my turn right there. Okay. Oh, okay, deals me 500 points of damage with Warwolf's effect. Alright, I activate my Ghost Trick Knight's effect. And with it, oh, I can also activate my Ghost Trick Go Around. I can target one monster in defense position. Let's go with my Stein. Flipping him right up into defense position, and then I can change his Stein to go down in face down defense position. Ooh, a clever move. A very clever move. These Ghost Tricks really are tricky, little ones, I will give them that. And I now draw. Let's see. Well, I might as well keep the Ghost Tricks I have. So I flip summon my Stein, my Doll, my Jack-Shing, won't activate his effect, then my Reaver and my Neko Musume. And now it's time to end the show with a bang. Attack Stein. Okay. Oh dear. I think I've run into a little bit of a snag, but I activate my Start effect, type 1, control the range defense position, and if you do... Alright, change Stein right back into the attack position, okay. Seems like he's got his own tricks of his own. Cheeky, very cheeky. Switching his Stein into the defense position, there we go. And then I'll attack with my Neko Musume. Oh, how dare they make it last for another turn, but well. It's all the love of the game, I guess. And then I will use my Ghost Trick Lantern to link summon another festival. And then I'll end my turn there. And then I'll activate Doll's effect, and I can special summon my Ghost Trick Spectre. And I'll end my turn there. Let's see. I draw. Oh, and since all his monsters are in defense position, I feel like victory is at hand, but we can't be too certain until we make this attack. So, I now attack with my Stein. Okay, well that didn't work out, so I guess I'll activate my Ghost Trick Go-Around's effect. Switching Stein right back into attack mode, switching his Jack Frost into defense position. My Neko Musume can attack. And then my Festival can attack, even though it doesn't do much damage. And then I'll attack with my Jack Shing, my Doll, and my Spectre. And then I will end my turn by switching Stein into face down defense position. He is a relentless one, I'll give him that. I end my turn. Okay, he's ending his turn. He's ending his turn. So if we play our cards right, we could win. Oh, Ghost Trick Yuki Ono decided to join too, so they all come back. All come back in face up attack position. Likely going to cause a trap, but we'll soon suss them out. Now my Spectre will attack. And then I activate my Go-Around's effect. Second effect, please. I'll flip Spectre into attack mode, send his Jack Frost into defense mode since it's still my battle phase. Neko Musume attack. And now it is your turn, Doll. And because he feels a little bit left out, let's go for you, Stein. Attacking directly. Oh, Book of Moon. Well, I guess good on Jiangxi can do the job just right. There we go. And with that, the parade of the Ghost Tricks comes to an end, and one step closer to another week's episode of Duels. Let's get right into it and see how that tale ends. What? You have a question? All the Ghost Tricks living in this mansion, you ask? No, they seem to be elsewhere too. I've heard that some of them live in this town's museum. For instance, the Dollar Hand and Mommy, they disguise themselves as exhibits in the day, but they go skulking around at night, because the museum has some very unusual things on display. Some humans come to see them at night. The other day I saw one that was happily telling a tale about how he scared a so-called security guard. He said he likes hide and seek, but more fun, or something like that. Dad was in a Mommy broke an object that belonged to a museum. The human wouldn't know, so it's okay, is what they said. And they got scolded by the witch. On days when they were big human festivals, the residents leave the mansion to go into town. I only watch from afar, but the whole town is lively and decorated at night with humans in costume having fun. Usually they are startled and they run away in panic, but on that day they just laugh it off. The ones trying to scare them off look very confused. Well, it seems that I've talked for too long tonight. I think it's time for me to go to sleep. If you haven't talked enough yet, then go talk to someone awake. Now then, have a good quiet night.
Oh, a human? Is that a human? You wanna play with us? If you don't play with us, we're gonna frighten you.
Well, Looks like we're in for some pranks tonight, fellow duelists, but we've still got one more duel before that happens, so let's get right into the final story of today. But of course, everybody, if you enjoyed this video and the series to come, meaning the final episodes next week, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned for more content coming soon. And now, let's proceed on right forward with the last duel, the Legend of the Starry Dragon.
One starry night. Some spent time with their family members, others spent it with their loved ones and prayed for another day of peace and wellness. On this night, when the night world is full of happiness, a certain ancient light is told, the legend of the Starry Dragon. A holy dragon appears on a beautiful starry night, with a knight in a white robe on its back. The good were given a blessing and guidance, while the wicked are thrown into a holy fire that burns away any evil. The tale is passed down from parent to child. It transmits the parents' wishes that their child lives in a pure and righteous life, so that they may one day receive blessings from the holy dragon. This is why it had been told from generation to generation. For the uninformed, it is merely a fairy tale. However, there is a hidden truth to this story.
And the hidden truth is right in this duel, I guess. Well, time waits for no one, so let's get right into the duel on Z. Okay, so going to be tangoing with dragons this time, with extra deck support, and the card is right in my hand. Starry Night, Starry Dragon. Well, who's to bless us but part of extravagance? I banished the top 6 cards of my extra deck to draw 2 cards. And then I activate the field spell Starry Night. And then I will activate the field spell Starry Night Ceremony. I activate Ceremony's effect. I can reveal 1 Light Fairy monster from my hand. And then I'll add my Seiro Ryu to my hand. And then I will end my turn there. Okay, oh, it seems like he's... Oh, but then I activate... Okay. Okay, and he summoned... You're already summoned Starry Night, Starry Dragon. Oh, but I activate my Star Ceremony's effect. Before he destroys my card, I will bring out my own, my one and only... Yes, my own Starry Night, Starry Dragon. And then activate Starry Night, Starry Dragon's effect and destroy his Starry Night, Starry Dragon. And he's got 2 face down cards. Let's see what he plans to do. Double summon! Oh, that would be very useful, but... again, I don't think I can summon a level 7 or higher monster just because I can summon twice. No. Okay. Let's see what my opponent does. He ends his turn. Okay, they end their turn. It just comes to show that Blue Eyes and Red Eyes have some competition now. And I got another terraforming. All well and good, but I'll just attack with my Starry Night, Starry Dragon again. And then my turn there. Okay. Orton's got Common Charity. The non-banned Graceful Charity, except you can only draw 2 instead of 3. Ooh, okay. Well, I activate my spell card Starry Night Balefire. And thanks to Balefire's effect, I can add 1 Starry Night card to my hand. I choose my Starry Night Rail. And it... Okay. Oh, Kyosan Rue! Okay, that's a new one. And then I summon my Star Knight, and then activate my Star Knight's effect to add from my deck to my hand my Starry Night. Let's have a little look. My Starry Night Arrival, why not? And then I will place 1 card face down, and then I will tribute both of... Actually, no, that would not be the best idea. That would definitely not be the best idea, so I'll just end my turn there. Saved himself with Hyozanru with his 2800 defense points, but you know, wasn't expecting it to be all that easy. Oh, seems like he had his own Starry Night arrival. The cheek! I activate my own Starry Night arrival, but I won't activate its effect just yet. Another Hyozanru. Okay, he's banishing it. I'll wait till his battle phase. Oh, okay, well, or I could just let Starry Night, Starry Dragon take the L, okay? The time for action is now. Awaken, Starry Night, Starry Dragon! Destroy his Hyozanru! Ah, marvellous. And now, it is time to draw, and it's Starry Night Orbital. Well, I now some Starry Night Orbital, and then I activate my Orbital's effect. I contribute it to bring in another Starry Night Balefire and set it face down. Then activate my Bale's effect. Balefire's effect allows me to add from my deck to my hand another Starry Night Starry Dragon. There we go. All is well. And now, Starry Night Starry Dragon, attack his face down monster. And now it's your turn, Starry Night Rail. And I'll end my turn there. But it's truly a battle of dragons in the stars, everybody. Oh, of course he had to bring Silent Doom. The OP but not so OP Monster Reborn. It only works on normal monsters too, so it's not really like a Monster Reborn. But he's got his own Starry Night Starry Dragon. But don't worry, I'm onto his game. I activate my Starry Night's Arrival's effect, and with it I can target. I can then special summon one light monster from my deck to my hand that is a dragon. And now I will choose my other Starry Night Starry Dragon. And with his effect, to the graveyard with your dragon. Okay. Excellent. A different dimension sprite. Well, I banish my Starry Rail to summon the Tuna Monster different dimension sprite. And, well, since it's right well there, let's go right into the action as I tune my level 1 sprite with my level 7 Starry Night Starry Dragon in order to synchro summon the level 8 Avenging Knight Parshath. And now Parshath. Okay, well I activate my card effect to bring in my ever faithful Seiya Ryu to the field. Oh, and of course he brings his Hyozanru. Wait a minute. Thanks to Parshath's effect, his position is changed. And now my knight will slice away your dragon. And now, Seiya Ryu, attack him directly! Him or her. Anyway, it's a GG. It was a close call and a battle of wits. But the dragon has been slain, and a victory and episode is now in the history books. Well, not before we finish the story, of course. A hidden truth within the legend. That is the battle between the dragon and the evil beings. Since the beginning of time, there have been demonic beings that spread disorder. Many people were suffering because of the many demons' mischief. The angels that watch over the people took pity and prayed to the heavens. In answer to that holy prayer, Starry Night Starry Dragon descended upon the earth. The Starry Dragon unleashed its might to save humankind. The angels took arms as knights obedient to the will of the dragon and served to purge the evil. In the shining platinum armour, the white-winged angels soared from the starry sky. These angels were called the Starry Knights. Many of the demons that were purged by the dragon and the angels before they were even witnessed by humans. No matter how much time passes, people will remain ignorant of the truth while they pass on in the legends.
The traitors of the Holy Dragon and the angels suddenly disappeared as they fulfilled their duties. To the twinkling stars flowed like the Milky Way. We were given our thanks and holy blessings.
Well, we can surely be thankful for the blessings that have been with these duels, but with that, and with 4 tales now in the history books for the penultimate episode, that is going to be the end of the penultimate episode. Ooh, getting emotional just saying that. But as always, if you enjoyed this video and the series finale that is coming next week, then be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned for more content coming soon. As next week we will be going into the mutant mutations, where we'll be discussing mutants, the Rika Fairies Descent, where we'll be discussing the Rika cards, the Wicked Dragon of the Hidden City following the Subterrace, and to finish off we've got the Dimensional Overseers of S-Force to bring us a grand finale. But although the finale is next week, I'd like to thank everybody so much for joining me on this adventure. This truly has been a different one, but don't worry, there's going to be a plenty of surprises before the PS5 era comes to an end next year. But again, without all of you here, I would not be here without every single one of you, and yeah, and all of you are just so amazing, and sharing these adventures with all of you is truly a great blessing. But as always, for everyone here at Seanster as well as everyone for the Master Legion and everyone at Seanster Patrol made by Family Manny Posse, thank you all so much for joining with me on another adventure, and I'll see you all next week for the final episode of Master Duel and the beginning of a new era for the PS5 era still to come. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Hope you all had a fun time today. I hope you all enjoyed these duels, and I'll see you all next time. Bye, and thanks for coming!